Hello, my friends. How are you today? Welcome to another episode of 30 Albums for 30 Years, 1964 through 1994. I am your host, Jay Sweet. In this program, we take a look and listen to the most impactful albums during that 30-year span of 1964 through 1994. So it's 30 albums for each year. We go through them chronologically, and that's going to be 900 albums. Today's a good one. We have Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul, recorded July 9th and 10th, 1965. The entire record was made in 2 days and released September 15th, 1965 on the Vault label. Let's check it out. In season number 1, episode number 9, we took a look at Otis Redding's album, Pain in My Heart. And during that program, I gave considerable details into Otis Redding's life and his music and his legacy. So today, I'll just give you a brief overview. With the death of Sam Cooke, the premier soul singer of his time in 1964, came the emergence of Otis Redding. Redding offered an alternate, southern approach to soul music that added some contrast to Motown's hit factory. Motown was releasing a lot of hits at the time. Motown recordings often relied on heavy string layerings and auxiliary percussion. Now, Otis Redding's music offered a more southern gospel approach that more heavily featured horns than strings. Motown artists were backed by the Funk Brothers, an incredibly slick house rhythm section. Redding's records were connected to Stax Studios. They employed their own exceptional rhythm section, Booker T and the MGs. The MGs offered a more organic and raw backing than the polished Funk Brothers. So to bring it back a little bit, Otis Redding was born in Dawson, Georgia, September 9th, 1941. Forced to leave school at the age of 15 when his father contracted tuberculosis, and he was working at the time. Otis was as a well digger and gas station attendant to help with the family's expenses. But he also was singing and playing piano at local bars. In 1958, Redding met guitarist Johnny Jenkins. The two teamed up and began earning money by entering regional music competitions. After touring the Chitlin circuit with several bands, Redding cut a few solo recordings in Los Angeles, and he was invited to Stax Studios in 1962 to record These Arms of Mine and Hey Hey Baby. Released on Stax's sister label called Vault, These Arms of Mine sold 800,000 copies. In 1963, Redding made a celebrated appearance at the Apollo Theater. In 1964, he released his debut album, Pain in My Heart, which showcased These Arms of Mine, and previously released singles from 1962 through 1963. In March of 1965, he released his second record, The Great Otis Redding Sings Soul Ballads, which, like Pain in My Heart, did not even crack the pop charts top 100.